Yeah, I mean, I think there's always room for improvement, and I think, as a leader of this team, a guy that's, I get the ball every play, calling the plays, relaying it from Coach Beck. I always seek to get better. I always seek to improve week by week. For me, it's always asking the team what they need from me. I think that's the biggest thing. How do I need to lead better? How do I need to control the game better? How do I need to play better? Each and every week for me, like you said, I'm my biggest critic. But, my goal is just each and every week see improvement on the film.
Is it frustrating, though? You've seen these quarterbacks across the nation put up huge numbers, and right now it's just not happening for you. I mean, I know your focus is on winning, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy we're 3-0. I mean, that's the ultimate goal at the end of the day, is to win each and every week, whatever it takes. Being a team captain, being a team player, you need to preach that to everyone. And, you can't be selfish. You can't look to, compare numbers to everyone else. As long as your team is winning, you're doing your job. So I'm just going to continue to do my job.
So in your mind, what do you guys need to address to get your offense playing at its full potential?
Yeah, I think, first it starts with not being ourselves. We have some critical penalties and, certain situations that can hurt us. And then obviously even last week, we just took points off the board by just self-inflicted penalties. I think, walking away from that game with, 2 different scores, we feel a lot better about ourselves. But I think first it starts with, taking those penalties off the film. And then second, just making our routine plays, executing on things that we do all week in practice and just translating it to the games on Saturday.
And you knew there were going to be some adjustments with the changes at receiver and all of that. How do you feel like that's gone so far?
Yes, sir. I think it's going well. I mean, we got a lot of guys that are getting a lot of reps, a lot of young guys that, their first, second time playing in Carter Finley. So, I mean, being able to see them really adapt to, playing at the highest level, I think it's really exciting for me as a quarterback. But, at the same time, I'm still challenging those guys, still challenging them to, learn from Thayer, learn from Devin, to, expand their growth each and every week, because that's what we expect out of them.
Is part of being a captain telling your guys not to overlook a team like UConn coming in before a huge game with Clemson the next week?
Yeah, I think we can't overlook anyone, honestly. We got a little taste of that week 1, going against ECU, a good team. Ended up being able to win that game, but, just us being able to take the same approach each and every week, every team having our respect and really just respecting the game in general. Like Grant just came up here and said, any given week, anyone can win. So, just having that approach, having that chip on your shoulder to do your job, improve yourself each and every week, that's what I relay to the team.
Devin, you had your leg injury a couple of years ago. What did you think when you saw the Ramirez injury against Texas Tech and how it's been handled since?
Yeah, I mean, it was very unfortunate. I actually didn't see the play exactly what happened. I just remember, seeing him getting carted off, and I just remember going up to him, tapping him on the shoulder. I think he did look at me. I'm not really sure if he knew what was going on, but I just told him, I'm praying for him, and, it's going to be okay. Kind of gave me a little bit of flashbacks of being carted off very similarly a couple years ago, and, I'm still standing here today, so I know he'll be fine. I know, my prayers go out to him, but just letting him know that everything's going to be okay.
How would you grade your hands as a receiver and Thayer's arm as a quarterback?
Well, I mean, I think Thayer was supposed to be 2 for 2 with 2 touchdowns that game, so, I mean, can't really compete with that. But, I mean, I joke around all the time because I catch a snap every single play that I got the best hands on the team.
Are you going to beg for that play in the future?
I mean, if we need it, I just want to let them know that I got the hands to secure it for sure.
And then when you talk about touchdowns getting taken off the board, it's one thing if it's like a holding penalty that brings a run back. It's another when you go deep in the playbook for that one and you complete the play.
Yeah. I think it was an awesome play design. I think we called it at the perfect time. And, like I said, we just got to take stuff like that off of film. I know, Anthony was very mad at himself. It's not very uncharacteristic of him, but, I mean, he takes it off the film. He knows he's got to be better. He told the team that one was on him, and, we just tell him, hey, we believe in you. It's next play. So we'll get back to it.
Having completed the catch, how many targets are you expecting against UConn?
Oh, man, I mean, as many as I need, as many as Coach Beck. If he wants to target me, I'm going to go up and make a play for sure.
Speaking of completed passes that didn't end well, just, Coach Storm was talking about how he handled Demi's situation and fumbling through the end zone. Did you go speak to him as a team leader? How do you handle that as a quarterback?
Yeah, I did. I remember coming off to the sideline, and Demi was really down on himself for a moment. I mean, he's a young player. He's still growing. He's still learning. And, I actually remember asking him, hey, Demi, do you want to go to the NFL? Do you want to be an NFL player? And obviously his response was yes. I told him, well, there's many scouts out here watching this game right now, and the first thing they want to see is how you respond to what you just did on the field. You know, he kind of looked me in the eyes, he thanked me, and he said, you know, I got you. Just so happened the next series, went out, scored a touchdown, responded like a pro. And, you know, that's the approach that he needs to take. That's the approach that I was trying to give insight on. And, you know, he really did a good job of taking my advice.
Is that the kind of thing you would have said to a player a year ago or 2 years ago, or is this something you've grown into now?
Yes, sir. It would have. It would have. I just remember thinking back 2019 versus Florida State. I actually said a very similar thing to Peyton Wilson, too. I forget the certain instance, but he was coming off the sideline frustrated. I wasn't really playing at the time. You know, I just pulled him aside. He's a really good friend of mine. And I just said, hey, do you want to go to the NFL? Like, guys are looking at how your approach is each and every play, how you're coming off the sideline, and, you know, everything matters. You know, he did the same thing Demi did. He thanked me, went out there, and just continued to ball out. So I think just having that refreshment of understanding your purpose and understanding that everything does matter, and, you know, any given play or any single reaction that you have, someone out there is watching.
Has anybody said that to you after an interception or something?
Yes, they have. They have. I remember Mike Glennon came in here and he said, if you want to be a pro, you got to live your life like a pro in all aspects of your life. And, you know, I mean, obviously football is what we love to do, but, I mean, if you could live your life like a pro off the field and translate it onto the field, you know, that really sunk in with me. You know, I'm really appreciative of Mike telling us that, telling the whole team that. You know, I really embraced that.
Demi told us that, you know, he came to NC State, you know, on a blind and didn't visit here. But he said he looked at the roster and saw that the quarterback was from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
well, how does that make you feel that, you know, he trusted you?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Demi actually played my little brother in high school, so they had a little bit of a rivalry. I remember my little brother telling me that week of the scouting report on Demi, and at the time in high school he was playing receiver. And my little brother was telling me how good he was at receiver. And, you know, when Demi got here, I was expecting him to play receiver. And, you know, just the way that he was very athletic, the way that he can, you know, we just had to get the ball in his hands. We decided to move him to running back. And, you know, ever since then he's been taking a great approach each and every day. But, I mean, for him to be a New Jersey guy and him to kind of blindly come down here and have trust in me, have trust in guys like Josiah, Joe Shimko, and have him understand that, you know, although we're all the way from New Jersey, you know, it's still family and still like home down here.